Well, as first seasons go at a club that when you joined them was a relegation threatened team from the Premier League and only survived with a couple of games to go, I think finishing second and in a Champions League space with the second top goal scorer in the league, pretty good going. How are we doing, everybody, and welcome to part 7 of Club 3 here on MyCareer on FM23 with our third club, Southampton. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where we're going to be going through the season review and doing the obligatory transfer special as well. If you're excited to see how we do in remoulding this squad into a team that hopefully can cope with the Champions League, as well as the League, as well as the FA Cup, as well as the League Cup next season, Christ alive, then please leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you never miss any of the Football Manager nonsense that comes out of this face right here. Not a lot's happened since you were last with us. We've had players in the team of the year. I won manager of the year. Yay! And we had Pinamonti finish second in the goal scoring charts to Erling Haaland, which means he finished first in the goal scoring charts for normal human beings. So, season review. Let's just dive right in. It's weird not seeing a trophy there. I think we had the same thing last season when we got promoted as the second place team in the Championship with Tranmere, but it is weird not seeing a trophy there. We've won trophies in every season that we've had so far, other than last season as well. So it's not been every season really, so probably need to get over it. My God, this game is slow at this point. Here I've clicked on new arrivals and it's taking forever. Oh, there we go. So, transfers last season. I think it was a very good transfer. A couple of transfer windows, I think. So, apparently the best signing was Andrew Lunin. I wasn't going to agree with that the second I saw it, but in my head I've just processed it and thought actually it was a really good signing. Came in, didn't keep a lot of clean sheets, but he is a large part of the reason why we did well. He was a very solid goalkeeper, 29 years old. I'd like to upgrade him, and I'd love for Hoyenhal underneath to be the upgrade, but he didn't show me a lot last season, so I do think Hoyenhal might go back out on loan this season. We might bring in someone to compete with Lunin, but happy for Lunin to be our number one next season, so he did really well. Signing of the season, apparently, thumbs up from me. I would say a close second is Andrea Pinamonti. 35 starts, 4 substitution appearances, 27 goals, 6 assists. He was incredible for us. We signed him because every season he's played, more or less, he's scored over 10 goals, and he went and scored over 20 goals this season. Chef's kiss. Very close to that as well, Joe Veloso, so much so that we turned his loan into a permanent deal. 27 starts, 4 substitution appearances, only the 9 goals and 4 substitution. 9 goals and 4 assists, but good average rating, did very, very well. As did Darian Marles. We were torn between him and Tete. We went with him. Don't regret it at all. He was cheaper option, and he scored 14 goals, 13 assists. The man did very, very well. Pavlovic came in January, £20 million well spent. He will be one of our starting centre-backs, probably alongside Borno next season. They seem to have a good partnership together. Did very, very well. Didn't go on the score sheet. I'm sure we'll change that with the way that I like to use set pieces. Jimenez was next. Brought him in as a backup fullback. Actually, towards the end of the season, I've got to be honest with you, he was more or less our starting right back because we don't really know what's going on with Livramento. Came in as a wonder kid, £18 million spent. Played, 34 appearances in total, 4 assists for a player who's mostly defensive. Kept getting better and better, developing really well. Probably, unless Livramento stays, will be our starter for next season. Hoyenhal came in. He was cheap. His wages were good. Honestly, he's going to be a worldy goalkeeper in the future. Didn't do that well in the times we played him, but it's fine. It's all good. We'll get him out on loan, I think, this season for a bit more football. Sam Barnes, apparently, we were pleased with that transfer. I don't really know why. He's probably going to go out on loan this season. I love him to bits for everything he did with us at Tranmere, but he's just not a Premier League player, so we'll try and send him to a Championship club. He's not getting sold. He is not getting sold, but he will be going out on loan. Francois Heroldt, he is a Portuguese international, and did okay. Would have liked a bit more from him, but he has developed into an inconsistent player, so we might move him on, we might loan him out. I'm not 100% sure what we do with him. Then we've got a couple of loan players here. Heesek and Benford. Benford did okay. Heesek did okay. Nothing spectacular with them. This is really playing me up and I don't know why. Come on. There we go. Aaron Hickey came in as a new left back. We'll keep him this season, but we will bring someone in over the top of him. But £50 million, we probably should be starting him, but he just didn't give me enough, if I'm honest. But hopefully next season will be better. Diego Tapia. I'm really hopeful this guy explodes this season because he was a bit disappointing this year. But he is a young player. He is very talented. We are training him in a position that he can't really play. Well, he couldn't really play. He prefers to be a deep line playmaker. We don't want him doing that, even though he could do it probably better than a lot of the players that we've got. Alan Tamara, similar position, although he has started to develop into a central midfielder who can ball win very well, actually. He started to look pretty decent, but quite happy with him. Brought in Lamar for some experience. Waste of time. We should have kept the young kid that we sent out on loan, Tyler Dibbling. We should have kept him. Paco Alcacer. Really wasn't worth him coming in, but then we didn't make the transfer, and he is retiring this season. We have put him on a coaching course. I might try and keep him as a coach. In terms of how the season went, pretty well. The board wanted us apparently to finish mid-table. That's utter nonsense. They wanted us to avoid relegation. I think the fans wanted us to finish mid-table. I don't understand why this is a bit of a glitch. Football Manager, let me know. That is a glitch, isn't it? Because we know if we look back to the beginning of the season, I'm not going to put it in this video, but they definitely wanted us, and we didn't change it at any point. They wanted us to finish basically in the Premier League. They didn't want us to get relegated. So, but either way, we achieved it. Finished second. Utter madness. We got a pretty much sold out attendance, 99% throughout the season. Top goal scorer was Pinamonti. We know that. It's an A+ from everyone. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? As mentioned before, the relegated teams are Tranmere, Norwich and Forest. Leicester surviving by the skin of their teeth. And looking at the European places, in the Champions League, it's ourselves along with champions Man City, Spurs and Arsenal, and Newcastle, Aston Villa and Liverpool making up the other European places. 1 Europa League place to Newcastle and 2 Conference League places to Villa and Liverpool. Oh dear Villa. Oh dear Liverpool, actually. Villa, good times. Chelsea and Man United will not be happy. And 9th place for Chelsea, 11th place for Man United in the bottom half of the table for the Red Side of Manchester. Got to step things up. I'm not looking to leave Southampton at the moment, but there could be a bit of a manager merry-go-round going on this season. Worth keeping in mind. In the FA Cup, we got to the 5th round. Newcastle knocked us out. We were competitive. We did okay. And in the Carabao Cup, we got through to the 3rd round against Chelsea. Got knocked out again. The board were okay with that. In terms of moments to remember, biggest win, 5-0 against Norwich. Absolutely battered them. Pinamonti with a couple. Marles, Richarlison and Borno scoring. We also beat Southampton near the beginning of the season. Chelsea... sorry, we beat Southampton. We beat Chelsea. We're Southampton still. Springett and Murray, a couple of the youngsters getting the... Well, I say youngsters. Springett's a bit older, but Murray getting on the score sheet was a bit of a surprise. And then goal of the... Was that the first game? That might have been the first game, you know. And then the goal of the season was actually in a loss. It was Tyler Dibbling, who we sent out on loan in the second half of the season. We had a red card in this game as well. But if we have a look at Dibbling's goal here, I don't really remember it. I know it's not a set piece, but I don't remember it at all. So it'll be interesting to see. But I remember being frustrated in this game, if it's the one I'm thinking of. But let's have a look at this goal. So Heralt in the midfield, gets it out wide to Jimenez. Jimenez now into Dibbling. And Dibbling, I mean, fairly confident I've seen us score much better goals than that. I'm fairly confident Marcos Antonio scored a couple of bangers from range. But, okay, sure game. In terms of finances, obviously we don't really have anything to do with last season's finances, but we can compare at the very least. We are still a national reputation team. I imagine that is going to go up at some point. Again, we're in the Champions League this season. It's going to have to. But in terms of the revenue, sponsorship went up a little bit by about $1 million. Well, not even that, actually. Broadcast revenue went down by $5 million. Our corporate and hospitality went down by a couple of £100,000. Competition prize money, however, shot up, absolutely shot up from 7.94 million to 37 million. And our match day commercial and retail went up by about 100,000, maybe just over. In terms of shirt sales, Pinamonti was the leader, along with Richarlison, Marles, Springett and Lavia. So 2 of our signings made it into the top 5, which is nice to see. The team of the year, Lunin in goal, as you would expect. Jimenez, Borno, Collins and Hickey. Collins is an interesting one. I would have thought Pavlovic would have done enough to get in there, but Collins it is. Antonio and Lavia in the middle, don't really argue with that, and the front 4 is exactly what you would expect, to be honest with you. Apparently our system suits a wing play, even though we play narrow, and we try and play through with the defenders. Is what it is. We won one manager of the month in February and then won the manager of the year because, I mean, if you get Southampton to second in your first season when they were relegation threatened the year before, I think you deserve it. Fans player of the season, Pinamonti. Predictable. Young player of the season, Veloso. I'd agree with that. Signing of the season, Lunin. I'd agree with that. It's weird to see all 3 of those different. Usually one of the 2 of them links in with the signing of the season, assuming they're signings, obviously. Goal of the season, Tyler Dibbling. Disagree. Top goal scorer, Pinamonti, can't disagree. It's a fact. Same with assists, 18 for Richarlison over the course of the season. Most player of the match awards was Pinamonti with 8. Average rating was 7.2 with Pinamonti. And most passes per 90 minutes, 68 for Stahina Pavlovic. I nearly butchered his name. In terms of competition awards, we won none. But we did get some records. Most assists in the season was Richarlison with 18. Player of the match awards was Pinamonti, again with 8. Discipline-wise was Lavia with 11 yellows and 1 red. That wasn't good. We did actually have a lot of discipline issues this season, which I didn't like. And apparently, Aaron Hickey's our most expensive player. Bit silly for me. Dynamic timeline time. Well, we know about the history of Dartford. If you've not seen the rest of the series up until this point, I would recommend you go back and watch the rest of the series, especially if you've only jumped on with Southampton. Go back, watch our time at Dartford. You'll know that we did very, very well. We had 2 very successful seasons before we jumped ship over to Tranmere and had another cup. I had 3 fantastic seasons. Promoted from League 2, promoted from League 1, promoted from the Championship, and then we bailed out and joined Southampton. So basically, we should bail out this season because we've just got in the Champions League. We should be bailing out to another Champions League team, and we're not going to do that though. Unless a really good deal comes up, then we might consider it. But you can see some of the stuff there. I'm scrolling through it a little bit slowly, but yeah, we've done really well. And I feel like we've done a good job in promoting English talent as well. We've got a lot of good youngsters at the club, and it's really exciting to see how they're going to develop. I always like looking at this, even though I don't fully understand it completely. So apparently our core fan base has gone down by 20. Is that by 27%, or is that how much it's made up of? Do these all equal? I don't know. So it's gone down a little bit, but fair weather's gone up a little bit. So we've got some people who just want to see some good football, but we do have to be careful that we keep the supporters on side, because they do have a moderate influence over the current board. I say current board because, you know, it might be changing soon. But yeah, great season. We need to be looking ahead, and we need to be thinking of what's going to happen. So let's just quickly sort this out. Training camp. Let's go to Germany. We want to get used to going to Europe, so I think Germany's probably the best place to go. In terms of club visions and expectations, what do they want us to do? So, high tempo pressing football and develop young players. We do that anyway. They want us to play attacking, entertaining football. We do that anyway, so I'm not too bothered about those ones. Hang on. Hold up. I didn't see the thing at the top here. Board alert. Takeover in progress. Due to the club being in a takeover process, we have altered the 5-year plan. Until the situation has been resolved, we will hold off with setting any long-term plans. But basically, very little to do here other than continue to finish mid-table. Well, so this season is the 28-29 season. Doesn't actually have anything. So, well, we'll confirm it, because there's not a lot we can really do there, other than the fact they want us to challenge for a trophy there. Well, have I missed us being in a takeover? I don't recall. Manager of the year, just to confirm. I don't recall seeing the thing come up saying takeover's happening. I don't recall it. No, I don't recall it. So unless we're going to get it come up now, Sebastian. It's just Sebastian. Sebastian. One moment. Right, well, he's no longer as upset as he was. I'm very confused. Like, I didn't think that we actually had a takeover in the offing, but apparently we do. But I'm not seeing anything come up to confirm it. Well, I'll keep you updated on that, but apparently there's a takeover that's going to be happening. Right, in terms of the squad, we've already had a quick look at this. We have got a number of players who are going to be leaving this season. So I've actually brought in on this screen the players who are currently out on loan. So all of the players who are highlighted are going to be leaving this season with the exception of Veloso. Veloso is going to be staying because he's joining us on a permanent. So we do need to bear that in mind. So I think that's about 8 players, something like that. So we're going to be losing Hisak, who is a wonder kid. Benford's very good as well. Everyone else, stuff them. Don't care. Get out of the club. Save me some money. And there's a lot of value in the wages here as well. Lamar's on 75,000. I can't remember how much of some of the loans we're paying, but we are. See, Barrios going to be out of the books as well. We're paying Pagualcasa half £100,000. That's not really how you say that, Stu, but we're paying him a lot of money. Let's get him out of the club. Let's get these guys out of the club. And once they're gone, that leaves us with this squad here. We are probably going to be moving on Castlevine. We're going to be moving on Radar. Dibbling might go back out on loan. Why it's readjusted to these players? I've done it the wrong way. There we go. So we are going to be moving some of these guys on. Lanari, he's probably going to go. Not quite got the potential that we want. Chiquinho, he's going to be gone somehow. I don't know how. Jesus Hernandez will move on as well. So we are going to be doing a bit of a clear out to try and get rid of some of these guys. So let's just, in fact, I'm going to do this off camera. I'm going to remove everyone and put them in the under 21s of the players who we're not going to keep. And that leaves us with this. Now, I have got Gavin Bazunu still here. I am probably still going to move him on. We're going to leave him here just for now, just because if we do send out Hoyen Hall on loan, we will need a backup goalkeeper. It could be him, but we could move him on. But actually, we might still consider keeping him. In terms of the first team, this is what we've got to work with. And I know what I want to do, I think, positionally. And we'll go over to the tactics screen to have a look at this, actually, because I think what we that's the training screens do. What we definitely need to do is we need to make sure that we have got enough cover everywhere to a high enough level, which I know sounds really basic. It is really basic, but desperately need to make sure that we have got all of the best players. In fact, if I do it like this, we're going to pick without restrictions, best 11, and we'll just unpick the bench. I think that's the best way to go. What I'm thinking is we need to make sure that this 11 is well protected and that we have the squad depth. So, for example, Lunin, we move him out. Who comes in for him? Hoyen Hall is the first choice. So we'll pop him in there for now, but we know he's probably going to be moving on. At the moment, we've got Livramento. Livramento is going to be one of our top players, but Jimenez is hot on his heels as a top quality player. Bornau and Pavlovic are our two central defenders. We know that we do also have Soyuncu and also Nathan Collins. Now, Nathan Collins is probably not good enough at this point. He has gone down, well, he's technically still a 3-star player, so we could potentially keep him. But Soyuncu, I think we will look to move on. So let's unclick him, let's get rid of him, and then we'll have Nathan Collins as the backup. And then we've got Hickey. We desperately need a left back. We know that we need a left back because Benford is going back to Man United. Central midfield. Let's bring these two out. We've got plenty of cover for this position. Now, we have also got... oh, God, I've forgotten who we signed. But we signed someone to come into this position. But we also have Tapia. We also have Tamara. They're both going out on loan next season. Let's get them some experience. We'll bring them out the season after. And by then, we should have good use for them. So that position is open, but we have got someone filling it. Deep line playmaker. Haralt is in at the moment. I say at the moment purely because, again, been quite inconsistent this season. He's had some decent games. He's had some poor games as well. I mean, recently he's not been that good. He did have an injury there as well, but see, there's a couple of good performances there from him. No assists, really. Very few of them, but he's done all right. He's done okay. In terms of the attacking positions, we know Marles is good. Let's make sure that we get this positioned correctly. Yeah, you go there. Marles. So who would come in his position? Well, we've got Tony Springer. We know that. Let's make sure we've got the under 21s available as well, so we can have a look at the entire squad. Veloso as the attacking midfielder. We've got Lewis Murray. We could potentially bring someone else in, but I would like to give Murray a bit of a chance next season. Certainly over pre-season, we can have a look at him. Richarlison. I've got a feeling, if I'm honest, Richarlison's gone. I don't think we'll have him next season. As I've mentioned, he's exploring his options. I would much rather cash in on him while we can, to be honest. Rather just get him out. Let's just bin him off. Let's see what we can do. Now, we've got the lad who's out on loan, and he's not appearing here for some reason. I don't really know why. He's out on loan, so of course he's not going to appear there. Tyler Dibbling. Tyler Dibbling, again, he's another player who I'm looking at, and I'm thinking, I mean, his potential ability has gone down to 3-star, so maybe we move Tyler on. I think Tyler, he's not actually one of our own. He came from, I can't remember where he came from originally. He came from, I know he is one of our own. I didn't think he was. He's been at Chelsea at some point. So, Tyler Dibbling leave Southampton, and then we brought him back. That's crazy. Okay, so he is one of our own, vaguely. I think we're moving him on. I think Tyler Dibbling's gone. So, we do need to invest in that side here. We do need to invest in the left side, possibly just wing in general. We need to invest in a player. And then, as far as striker goes, we know that we've got a very, very talented striker in Tommy Gardner. However, we also know that he's not the most consistent striker. Still got a lot of potential. He's not the most consistent striker. And to be honest, he is a bit injury prone, even though he's not injury prone. However, Assuming he can get fit again, I'd be okay with using him. That is assuming he can get fit again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to move Dibbling out. We'll pop him on the bench. Gardner will assume we need cover for. And Hoyenhall will assume we'll go out on loan. And those are the positions. It's a bit more than I thought, actually. But those are the positions we could do with covering. Now, goalkeeper's not desperate. We could keep Hoyenhall. He would happily be, I think, a cup goalkeeper for us. I don't think that would be a problem. And I think he would develop into our #1 next season. So we'll give him a chance. Centre-back, I think we definitely need. Left-back, I think we definitely need. Defensive midfield is sorted again. I keep forgetting the guy's name. Let's have a quick look over him and just confirm it. It is Ugarte. Ugarte is coming in. That's okay. That's covered. Wing, we definitely need a couple. Striker, we could do with someone perhaps on loan for the first half of the season while Gardner gets fit again. So we've got some work to do. In terms of the finances, again, just about £60 million. We've got a couple of clauses we could probably bump that up with as well. And if we look at the squad screen and decide on players that we want to sell, or at least consider selling, obviously we've got all of the lads who are out on loan. So a few of them are going to be expiring at the end of the season. We've got Hernandez, who we could get up to 9 million for. Bazunu, 4 million. Chiquinho, 7.5 million. Ryder, 12.5 million. I mean, a lot of these players we probably won't get the value for. 10 million for Tom Ballard, for example. 8.2 for Doyle. Some of these players we probably won't get the full value for. 24 million for Castledine seems a bit crazy. But there are players who we can get some value for. So we've got all of those players there. We've got Tyler Dibbling if we decide to move him on. Of course, we've got Richarlison, who's worth up to £44 million. There's value in the squad to increase that transfer budget. What I don't want to do is increase the debt on the club. We've got £76 million of transfer debt that I've put the majority of there last season. We're not in trouble financially. We're doing all right, actually. But I do want to be a bit more sensible with our instalments this year. We're going to try and avoid them where we can. We're going to try and be a bit more sensible. That's the plan. So, I'm going to continue on. We know what we're going to do. The main things are wingers, left back, centre back, possibly a backup striker, possibly a backup goalkeeper, more than likely a backup goalkeeper. And that's it, really. A couple of wingers, of course, not just one. But that's it, really. So, assuming we can get all of that, job's a good one. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can start working on that. If there's any big things that happen, like a takeover, for example, I'll let you know. But if not, I'll see you on the 1st of July, the free transfer day. See if we can identify anyone to bring in on the free transfer. We'll see what happens. It is the 1st of July and we have got some deals done. Not as many as I would have liked to, but we are in the process of putting the squad that we want for this season together. As you can see, we've got the training camp squad ready to go, but that's not an important thing. I was going to take it to the transfer screen and we'll have a proper look at it. So, transfers this season. Did any go through at the end of last season? Actually, they did. So, you already knew about this guy, James Price. He was coming in last season. We signed him, sent him back on loan to Southampton. We're Southampton. Sent him to Swansea. Had a very good rest of the season there. By all accounts, he looks really, really good. He's a 3-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's got 7 under-21 caps for England. He's a wonder kid. He's English. It was silly not to get him, really. He's valued now up to £92 million, which is ridiculous, but he's now in. I don't know what part he will play this season. I don't know whether he'll be with us. I don't know whether he'll be out on loan, but we do need to have a think about that. We've also gone and signed a couple of other wonder kids. Kayarman Gardien, Dutch guy. I think there's probably a better way to phrase it than that. But he's coming from NEC, and quite frankly, he looks like he could be one for the future. Technically not a wonder kid, but he has got 5-star potential. We've brought him in. He's going to go back out on loan, apply his trade somewhere else, get some more experience. I'm very happy with that. And then we also have signed this guy, Italian Marco Cusciara. He's come in as an attacking midfielder and again, going to be going straight out on loan, which is a shame actually because he probably could do a job for us, but he's going to be going out on loan due to the fact that he hasn't got a work permit. So we are going to be finding alternate employments for him. In terms of sales that went through technically last season, I don't think any of them did, so we don't have to worry about that. So let's move on to this season. So far this season, we've spent a lot of money, but the money that we spent includes Joe Veloso's deal. That has now been confirmed. He is a full Southampton player, no longer on loan. So Joe Veloso is in. I'm very happy with that. Good season for him last season. Hopefully he will continue to get better. We also signed Cole Palmer. Now he's going to be our Richarlison replacement, assuming Richarlison leaves. As of the time of recording, Richarlison's still in the squad. So that could be a bit of a sticky wicket to get past. But we've got Cole Palmer in. I used him in, I think it was the Villa save towards the end of FM22. He was very, very good. I've coveted him for a few years on different saves, and I just thought, why not? Problem is, he's actually better on the right-hand side that Marles plays on, but he's going to be playing on the left. We're going to train him on the left. He'll be fine. He'll do a good job there. He'll still cut inside. Okay, yes, he's left-footed, but he'll still cut inside and use that 14 finishing to great effect, I'm sure. And then we've also, you know this one as well, signed Manuel Ugarte. He came in on a free transfer, ball-winning midfielder, and he should do a good job for us. Onto the sales. Cagliari. I know I've said his name wrong. Cagliari, I think it is. I'm probably still butchering it. 32 years old, 100 caps for Turkey. Didn't really set the world alight for me last season, but he did have an injury, so I'm probably being a bit unfair. But to be honest, I wanted to freshen things up at the back. We've moved him on. We got £10 million for him. It's probably lower than what we could have got for him, but we got him out of the club. We got his wages off the bill as well. We also got £10 million for Don Ballard. But the important thing is we got money for him. 23 years old, English, capped at under 20 level. Never played a game for me. Never played a game for the club. He's got 10 finishing and he's a striker. £10 million. Very, very well received for me. We have also got other deals in the offing as well. Ignore Patsy Devine. He's a player who I signed for the under 18s because we didn't have any goalkeepers. So, other players that we've got. I'm just double checking who we have got confirmed and who we haven't got confirmed. I don't think Guardian has... Yeah, Guardian has been confirmed, hasn't he? So, right. Guardian, he's coming in. He hasn't come in just yet, though. But he is going out on loan. So, that's why that's there. So, I have to look at in. I did put in a cheeky little check for Virgil van Dijk, but apparently he's retiring. So, he's not coming in. Ryan Aitnouri is going to be hopefully coming in, assuming he actually decides he wants to play for us. He'll come in as our left back, probably our starting left back. He'll certainly be a good option to have along with Aaron Hickey. He's quality. He's absolutely quality, I think. Not the best left back in the world, but he'll do a very, very good job for us, especially in the Champions League. A bit fortunate that he's not got any France caps, if I'm honest. Hector Ferb is someone I've looked at for years. He's another wonder kid. He's another South American wonder kid. I'm going to bring him in and send him out on loan. Work permit's being decided at the moment, but again, he's someone we want to get out there. Main reason we've gone for him is because other clubs were in for him and he was cheap. So we're just waiting for that one to tick over. And at the moment, those are the deals we're looking at. Wage budget is not looking great. However, the sales that we want to make will sort that out. At the moment, it is mainly loan deals that we're looking to get rid of. Jesus Hernandez we're trying to get rid of on a permanent. Chiquinho, no one wants him. So once we've got those guys out the door, it will help balance that a little bit. Again, Richarlison still wants to go. The one thing that could be a bit of a problem in my whole grand plan of moving players on is that Tino Livramento, I don't think wants to leave as much. He's not as unhappy with me as he was about the team talk last season. If you don't remember, go back a couple of episodes. But he's still transfer listed by request. I very much am open to keeping him if he wants to stay. It's a bit of a problem to have both him and Jimenez as right backs, but it's a problem I'm willing to try and sort out, if I'm honest. So we'll see what happens. We've got a bunch of players who are back off loan who I now need to go through and sort out transfers for, but we're starting to get there. We are starting to get the squad together, and I think Palmer coming in is going to help things out. If we get Aitnouri, it's going to be really good as well. Goalkeeper, I'm not sure about. I'm tempted to keep Wernhall and just try him as the starting goalkeeper and see how long it takes for Lunin to get upset. Lunin is down as the first choice goalkeeper. He will eventually get upset. But I've just thought we can put Ugarte into the midfield now and complete that system there. And I think Ugarte as another midfielder in with Lavia and partnering either Antonio or Hurl is going to be a very, very good addition, I think, and I'm quite happy with it. So I think we just need to sign at least one more winger, possibly two. Tony Springett, why are you not in the club? You should be over here. Tony Springett. So we definitely need one. We definitely need one. In terms of striker, we don't actually need someone because we've got, I keep forgetting his name, but the English kid, James Price, he's not come back from Swansea. We're Southampton, Stu, but he could be the backup striker while Tommy Gardner's injured, and he probably will end up overtaking Tommy Gardner, being completely honest, as well. Just looking through, seeing if there's any players here who should be in the 11. Tyler Dibbling I would quite like to get rid of. He had potential, but he's gone down to 3-star now. I think we move him on. I think we cut our losses with him. He's not actually trained by Southampton, so I'm not too worried about losing him. I think that leaves a good map of the players that we need. Still need that left back. Could be confirmed. Still need a winger. Still need a defender. At that point, we could go. I'd probably still like to bring in another striker, but not a starter, because Pinamonti, I mean, the season he had last year, 24 in 35, that'll do plenty. So let's carry on forward. Let's see what we can do in the transfer market to get the club ready for the Champions League more than anything. Opening fixtures look like this, by the way. Also, our opening friendly against Dartford, because Stu knows what he's doing, and also not the microphone. But the opening fixtures for the league are Leicester, Man City, Everton, Arsenal, West Ham. Mix of fixtures there. The last team that didn't get relegated, mid-table, couple from the top, and another mid-table. So a real balance there of teams. Got more away fixtures in those first 5 than we have home fixtures. Could be a bit of a tricky one, but hey, let's go for it. Let's see what happens. Also, we don't have the EFL Cup apparently until Tuesday the 19th of September. So no EFL Cup in August. That's a shame. But we'll go ahead, we'll see what happens, and we'll see if we can get some more players in on top of the ones we already have. And hopefully salvage Arlison as well. That's definitely something we need to do. Well, I'm not going to lie, he's the main left back that I'd identified, and it's a bit disappointing that we haven't got him out. Nori's gone to Paris Saint-Germain. I mean, it's Paris Saint-Germain. I can understand why he maybe turned us down. So the hunt for a left back continues, but Kushiara has gone out on loan. He's gone to Real Betis for the season. He's going to be a regular starter there. That makes me quite happy. We have also got offers in for a lot of other players as well. We have a quick look on this list here. We knew Guardian was going out on loan. Kaleem Stanbridge has had a loan offering for him. I might look at that separately. Hines has been offered a contract for £500,000. Tamara's going out on loan. Trying to get Fabian Rydar. Remember him? He's still here. Trying to get him out, but the only offer we had was with a big wage contribution. Not interested in that at all. Chiquinho on his way out, looking like it's going to be a £9 million, maybe. Oh no, £11 million. I need to cancel some of these off actually and put him back up. I love this thing where you can sometimes just get a bit of a bidding war going. So let's put him back up for 13, and let's just see whether anyone bites on that. Hopefully they do. But Chiquinho's going out. Glenn Hollands looks like he's going to be going out for up to £7 million, which is nice to see. Kushiara, we know, is going out on loan. We've just seen that. Hector Furbe has also potentially accepted a loan offer. He's actually signed for us. I don't think I showed you that. But Hector Furbe is now a Southampton player. Looks very, very good. Looks like he could be an absolute superstar in the future, like many of the players. He's also one of the many players who can play as an attacking midfielder. That's going to be an issue to sort out in the future. And then Che Adams on his way out for £7.5 million as well, getting his wage off the bill too. So the transfer budget will go up, but the wage budget will come down as well once all of those players have gone. And that will make me very, very happy. There we go. Confirmation of Kushiara going out. £13 million offer for Chiquinho. That'd do. That'd do plenty. And Jacob Hines finally leaving the club. I say finally. Not like he's been someone we've been looking to leave for a long time. But we'll get the Chiquinho deal up and going again as well. So we'll reject the 211s and put £13 million as the new benchmark. We'll put him back up to 15. You guys know how this works. I'm not going to keep showing you it if it keeps going up, because that's going to get a little bit boring. So yeah, we now need to re-identify what we want at left back. Now here's the list of players that we've got for left back. So if we go on to players who are interested in a transfer, it's interesting that Aït-Nouri was not interested in a transfer. So that is something we need to bear in mind. I'm looking at Benford, you know. I am looking at him and thinking, in all seriousness, he was pretty decent for us when we called upon him. And I don't think we'd be doing wrong by going with him. He can play the supporting role relatively well. Okay, he's off the ball for his attacking instincts isn't great, but everything else will grow. He's only 21. He's still got room to grow. But he would be coming in as a backup, whereas I was hoping to get someone in over the top of Aaron Hickey. I was considering Serginho Dest, actually. Wanted by Wolfsburg. I mean, he's better than Benford. Is he better than Hickey? I suppose that's the question, really, isn't it? Let's have a look. Compare him to Aaron Hickey. Let's have a look at the little chart. So Serginho Dest is in green. He's quicker, better at attacking. But other than that, aerially, it's Hickey. Physically, it's Hickey. We've each got two areas where they're better than the other, and the rest of them are apparently equal. They can both play on either side as well. Tricky. Very, very tricky. We'd essentially be signing someone in the same age range who does a very similar job. It's good at free kicks, I'd consider it. That'd swing it for me. I don't think we'll go for Serginho Dest. I'm going to have a look through this list. I'm going to have a look on my short list as well. And we'll see whether there is anyone who we think can fit the bill and fill that left-back spot. Remember as well, we also need a winger. And we also probably need a central defender as well. And at the moment, we've got £42.5 million. And that's not including the fact that we're minus £253,000 a week in the wage budget. I really hope all of those sales go through so we can balance that off. Otherwise, we're going to have a problem. That's to make some of those moves that we've been talking about. Chiquinho's finally left the club. £15 million in the kitty. I didn't think we'd get that much for him, but he is in. Well, he's out. The money is in. Adams has got as well, Adams. Oh, I had a burp building up. Apologies. £7.5 million for him. Funny the way around. I'd have expected a bit more for him. Only £4.5 million of that is available because of the clause that Southampton had with Birmingham. Birmingham getting £3 million of that. But yeah. Those transfers mean that we've been able to balance things a little bit. We now have £52 million or just over in the transfer kitty. And we actually have a couple of £100,000 wage budget spare in the offing. Now, that does mean we can go back in for a couple of players that I have been looking at. For example, I did try and sign Andy Robertson. Now, I will say he is 34 years old. But I'm thinking that I can't spell his name. Apparently, that's oh my God, Stu, come on now. My thinking being, 18 for natural fitness, still very usable. His pace is still okay, and he's still such a good player. I'm just thinking to myself, he looks like a player who for one season could just do a great job while we wait to look for that absolute worldie of a left back. So for one season, and he'd be willing to come as well, and the club are willing to sell him. We're going to give it a week and go back in for him, because I think we're not going to be able to do much better than him. There was also someone from Leicester, who I can't remember the name of, one of their fullbacks. It wasn't Luke Thomas. However, Luke Thomas is an intriguing one, and he wants to leave the club because they're not in the Champions League. Luke, my name's Stu. He's uncertain about. We're in the Champions League, Luke. It's literally the reason you want to let. Oh God. Well, hold the phone. I hadn't thought about Luke Thomas. I'll show you the guy I was thinking of. The guy that I was thinking of was, where's the chap? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? This guy, Jesus Vasquez, 25 years old, decent enough, but stuff that if Luke Thomas might be available. I know he said he's not overly keen, but my man wants to play in the Champions League. I'm offering it. I'm offering it. Now, the problem is we don't have the money to do the deal. Certainly not £57 million up front. I know what I said about not doing transfers using instalments, but this might be one where we have to. Right, they're looking for a right back. I mean, I don't want to lose Tino, but they're looking for a right back. They're also looking for a goalkeeper. I wonder if I throw in Gavin Bazunu, because they're looking for a goalkeeper. What if I throw him in and we put in, I don't know, 35 million? That's a no. Okay. Well, what about if we pop in, let's just see what they say. Tino Livramento. They'd want 75 and Tino. Well, that's not happening. That isn't happening. We'll accelerate a day, and I might go back in for Luke Thomas just with money and see how much it would be. Sorry, Matt. No one cares about you. Let's just investigate this further. If I was to go in for 42.5. Okay. That's more than I'd want to pay. 70 million it would be if I did this. I wouldn't do it in 2 installments. I'd prefer to do it in yearly installments, but we'll do this. And we'll pop in a cheeky one of those. Okay. Alright. Okay. That could be possible. And we still have, in terms of players to sell, Castledine, who there's a £7.5 million up front offer with 15 million potentially on the table there. Tyler Dibbling 5 million up to 9.25. And Richarlison, who we have ended up accepting a £21.5 million offer. I was going to counter offer that, actually. Let's counter offer that. So there's value still to come into the club, hopefully. Assuming it does, assuming we sell these players, we make all of these moves. Let's go with the minimums. 5 million, 21.5 million, so that's 26.5 million. Waiting for Jesus Hernandez to leave, that'd be another 8.5 million. So that's what? 34.5 million. 35 million, in fact, actually. Then there was Castledine, who's another 7 million. So we've got 30 odd million coming. We can afford that. We can absolutely afford that. Okay, let's see. And let's just do the count. And he's dubious. He's going to want to be a star player. To be fair, he would be. And it looks like with 29 caps at 27, he's in the... Well, he's definitely in the England setup, obviously, because he's got caps. But he's going to be a regular in there. Oh, I'm up for this. Oh, I'm up for this. Right, remove that. Yeah, you can be the star player. I don't really want you to be a fullback, so I'm going to remove that. Are you good at anything? Are you good at anything? Your free kick's not that good. Your corner's not that good. Your penalties aren't great. You're not a very good leader. I mean, is there anything else I can offer you? Probably not. But you'll accept it. Okay, right. He wants a lot of money. I mean, to be fair, I say he wants a lot of money. He's willing to take a pay cut to come here. Luke, are you sure? I want you here, but are you sure, son? I mean, okay, let me have a fiddle with this. Okay, I'm going to go in with that. We've adjusted it a little bit. We've brought the signing on fee down. The agent fee's gone up a little bit. We've added a couple of other bonuses in. Let's just see what we go with. Okay, he does want it to be increased. So we'll pop these down to here. He wants that down. I'll tell you what, we'll put the appearance fee up a little bit. And... Now, do you know what? We'll see what that goes like. We might have signed Luke Thomas, who I hadn't even thought about. He hadn't even entered my mind until I saw that screen. And then I remembered, you're a left back. That will be over £100 million on left backs we've spent in the last couple of seasons. But, meh, it's only money. Well, I'll let you know what happens with that deal. And I'll update you on the other sales as well. That's the last big transfer we need. We do ideally still need a winger. And we do probably need a central defender as well. In fact, no, we do need a central defender, actually, because Sam Barnes has gone out on loan to Burnley. Sam Barnes has left the club. He's still technically a Southampton player, still technically a Premier League player, but he has gone to Burnley. So, with the remaining money that we bring in, that's what we need to do with that. Winger, central defender. And then I think the squad's pretty good to go. Sorry, we interrupt this previously scheduled transfer special to bring you the European Championships of the year 2028. It's already spoiler on the screen of the team who won. I'm just going to get straight to it. Norway beat Portugal. Yep. I don't really understand how, but they did. So let's go through the groups very quickly to understand how something like this could be, in fact, allowed to happen. What parallel world are we living in? So, Group A. England and Denmark qualifying, Scotland and Poland going out. Group B, Belgium and Turkey, Greece and Wales crashing out. Croatia and Sweden get through in Group C. Czech Republic go through as well. So there must be one of those fancy third place teams that get to go through in that group. Ireland missing out there. Gutting for them, they were level on points with the Czech Republic. Switzerland get through in the same way in Group D, along with Netherlands and Italy. Austria, France and Norway going through in Group E. And it's Germany and Spain with Portugal going through in Group F. So, Norway only go through as the third place team in their group. They get very, very lucky there. Looking at the second round, England beat Sweden. How did we do in that one? I'm kind of curious to see what the team looks like actually at this point in the side. So Foden scored. Sterling actually got one disallowed. Harvey Elliott goes off injured. So it's Ramsdale in goal at the moment with a, I'm going to guess that is that's a Rico Lewis. That's England, only 4 caps, so he must be, I mean, to be fair, he must be going really, really well. 23 years old. Fair play to the lad. Rico Lewis, I'm not going to lie. I had Rico Henry in my head for a second. I was thinking, how did he get in the England team? Declan Rice in the defence with Mark Guehi. I can never say names. Christ alive, Stu. Mark Guehi. Weird partnership. Gueye not so much, but Rice definitely. And it's good to see Luke Thomas is the starting left back at the moment for England. Bellingham and Reece James in the midfield with Harvey Elliott on the wing, who did get injured early on. Foden and Sterling supporting Harry Kane up front. Chilwell and Alexander Arnold on the bench with Ben White. Trafford from Manchester City is there. Dean Henderson still there. We've got Rashford, we've got Mount, we've got Bukayo Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe. This guy, Tezgel, is from Arsenal, and Tammy Abraham's still knocking around. He's got to be in his 30s, dirty in fact, and he's still at Roma, banging a few goals in. So that's how England got through in that one. Turkey get knocked out by Denmark. Norway go through against Belgium, knocking out the first big name there. Belgium going out, crashing out in fact. Looking at their national team, I mean, it's still full of quality. There's old quality in there, but it's still full of quality. Romeo Lavia in that team as well, so they still haven't cracked the way to win a tournament, sadly, for Belgium. And then it's Portugal getting through against Croatia, France getting through against Netherlands, Czech Republic getting knocked out by Germany, Switzerland out by Austria, and Spain beating Italy in the battle of the heavy hitters in the second round. Quarter-final time. France and Germany. Germany win 2-1. Norway actually knocks England out 2-1 in the quarter-finals. Wow. Imagine if that happened today. It's Tezgel with the goal. Well, Tezgel with the assist, rather, for Raheem Sterling, again, playing out on the wing. Ben Chilwell played in this one. Should have played Luke Thomas. And it was Boye and Boye for both goals, with Haag getting both of the assists. I have used this guy before. He's decent. I would not have said he's that good, though, not to get 2 assists in the European Championships against a team like England. Portugal beating Denmark 2-0 and Spain beating Austria 2-0 into the semi-finals. Germany got knocked out 3-1 by Norway, and Portugal had to go to extra time against Spain. And Erling Haaland's Norway win a trophy, 1-0 in the Euros. You heard it here first, folks. If you're watching this in 2028, do me a favour, let me know what the result was. I highly doubt it was that one. Anyway, back to the normally as scheduled transfer special, because I need to get back to some relative normalcy after this madness. It is worth pointing out the Norway starting goalkeeper is in fact certain Mr. Høyenhal. I do think we have a new starting goalkeeper, and we don't need to sign him because he's already here. My goodness. Good news aplenty. Luke Thomas has joined us. He is our star left back now after playing in the Euros for England. He is a 3.5 star player. He's not going to get much better, but he's still going to be absolutely solid for us, I think. We're going to welcome him into the club. Fantastic. We're going to add him to the training camp squad too. We won't bother about these 2, squad registration and squad number, until we have to. Very happy with that. It's a lot of money, but I think there's going to be a lot of player for that money. And the board apparently want to give me a new contract, because why wouldn't you after the season that we literally just had? So let's do that. Let's see what they offer us. So we'll see what they're going to offer us. Let's just double check what I can't remember what my current contract is. It is £35,000 a week. I expect it's going to be probably towards the £50,000 a week mark. Who knows? But I think we've earned that. I genuinely do. Also, in terms of money, we have sold a couple of players as well. Those players being Jesus Hernandez, he's gone for 8.5 million, and Leo Castledine for 15 million. I only got about £3.5 million of that because some of it's not up front, and the rest of it went to Chelsea. Jesus Hernandez, we got about, I don't know, 8 million of that. So very happy with that. Players going all in about the place as well. There's a lot of deals moving along here. We're waiting for some other players to go. Tyler Dibling, Fabian Radar, Lanari, Richarlison. Bunch of young players who are not going to get game time. We're waiting for all those guys to go. We've got no other players who we're currently looking at. It's not to say we won't. We just want to get all these other deals done first, and then we can look at adding the last couple of players. Again, I think the biggest one now is going to be central defender and also winger. I don't think winger's quite as drastic, but we desperately need a central defender, because I think first choice wise we've only got a couple at the moment. Good to see Alan Samara doing well for Hertha here, playing in the middle, playing as a Mazzala, which is a bit disappointing, but it's fine. As long as he plays and as long as he grows, I'll be happy. But I'd like him to grow in the position that we've asked Hertha to grow him in. I'm so happy that we've managed to get Luke Thomas. I'm so happy that I looked on that screen, because I just wouldn't have considered him. I'd like you really to be leaving the club permanently. Nathan Collins apparently is wanted by Al Nassr. We're not going to let him go. We're not going to let another central defender go. First choice goalkeeper at Nantes. Yeah, that's fine. Sam Roberts, you can go there. Liverpool approach for our performance analyst, Stuart Metcalf. I'll do what I always do. Ask them to stay and then back down. And 9 times out of 10, they end up staying. Fingers crossed, that'll be what happens. But yeah, happy with the transfer of Luke Thomas. I mean, I've said it enough times that you must know that by now. We'll pop him into the squad. We'll pop him on the bench, actually. Well, no, we're going to pop him on the bench. He's going to start in the game against Werder Bremen as our new shiny wing-back. I think that's a good signing. Right. Centre-back and winger. They're the two big things we need to do. So, oh yeah, we've got new goalkeeping coach in the under-18s. Yay. And here's a new contract. We might as well... And some bad news up here. So Southampton offers a new contract. £54,000 a week. I mean, we'll try and squeeze a little bit more out of them. And I've accepted it. 3 years up until 31. I mean, we'll just accept that completely. Happy, happy days. And Richarlison not leaving us for Roma. Pop another transfer offer out. Clubs are interested in him. He just is being a bit of a fussy little so-and-so. It's Roma, West Ham, Crystal Palace and Villarreal. So we'll pop the offer out there and we'll see whether anyone wants to offer anywhere near that amount of money for him. Lalari's going out on... I was going to say he's going out on loan. He's not. He's going permanently. So we're going to get £8 and a bit million in for him. We're never going to use him. There's confirmation that we've signed a new deal. But we'll see whether anyone would like to pick up Richarlison for all that money. It's not looking like they are. Tyler Dibling's going out, by the way. He's going to be £7 million. Going to be coming to us, about £5.25 million is going to come to us. Some of the money is going to be going elsewhere, and then after league appearances, that money is going to happen as well. I'm quite happy with that one. He's 3-star potential. He's not actually going to amount to anything really. We've signed the contract. We're going to say that we're delighted. Happy, happy days. Nothing on Richarlison. Nothing on Richarlison at all. So we'll go away again and we'll see whether we can get him out of the club somewhere. Fingers crossed I'm able to make that happen. Richarlison has finally left the club. Yes. It's not as much money as I would have liked, but £22.5 million is in the bag. Wow, near enough that anyway. We've got that coming in to the kitty, which is always good. That's the development centre to do. Which brings our transfer budget back up to a healthy £46.8 million. Wage budget-wise, we've got about 300 grand spare. Don't know why I went so high pitched then, but I did. Which is good because I've done a bit of a silly. Remember how I said the players that we need really are winger and centre-back? Yeah, of course I've gone for a central midfielder. Which central midfielder, you ask? I am being clouded by the idea of romanticism and sentiments, but for some reason I came across him and I just thought, why not? He's 33, but his natural fitness is 20. He's never been the quickest to begin with. Just whack him in the middle of the park and put him to work. He can tackle, he can pass. For someone who's got a free kick as good as his long shots are abysmal. But he does feel like a player who could do a job for us. He could play as the central midfielder. He could do a job as the attacking midfielder still if we really needed him to. But I'm just thinking he could come in as a squad player and just provide a bit of cover. He wanted to play in the Champions League. We're offering him that. He gets to do it with his boyhood club. And also, I'm thinking about the Champions League. He's a homegrown club player. Got to think about these things. So, yeah, I'm also no closer on the centre-back and the winger. But now we've got that extra bit of money in. We know £14 million is coming out. So that's £32 million on those two positions. Maybe one of them can be a lone player again. Who knows? But I'm a fool. What can I say? Why? Why have I done this? I mean, the fans are happy. The fans are really happy. We've brought an iconic name back to the club. I don't actually know. Is he on the favoured personnel? He's got to be there somewhere. Yeah, he's on an icon list. So, with us, he could be a legend. Who knows? But we've brought him back in. I'm not going to lie. He's not going to play as a box-to-box as he wants to. He's not really going to play as a ball winner. He's probably going to, more likely than not, play as a deep-line playmaker. That's what we're going to train him on. He's got the passing to do it. He's got the passing to do it. I want him to get a little bit further forward. And he's going to be welcomed by the guy whose spot he's going to be competing with. What's not to like? I've even, this is how good a manager I am, kept his old number clear for him to return to. I do believe he wears the number 8 in real life. He now wears the number 8 again for Southampton. Take 2, and we'll pop him into the squad as well. He's in the Premier League squad. We'll confirm all of that. Did I confirm him? I'm sure I did. I feel like I did, but I wasn't paying attention. I mean, I was gutted when I found out when we joined here that he'd actually... Diego! I don't want you at the club just yet. I want you to get better. I want you to get better at being a defensive-minded central midfielder. Sir. Fortuna Dusseldorf want you. You're going there. As long as they desperately need a ball-winning midfielder. I don't even care if they don't pay for you. You're going there. If not, I'm sending you to Ross County. We don't even have that league loaded. So, you will not have a lovely time. Understood? Good. Yeah, James Ward-Prowse. I'm quite happy to have him back at the club because I was gutted when I realised he wasn't here when we joined. Just to confirm, he is now the vice-captain, which does mean we do need to put Lavia as the new vice-captain. Interesting that Tamara, Sam Barnes and Guardian will have better leadership than half the squad. Tapia does as well, as does Harold, James Price. Where's Bourneau? Where's his leadership? There it is. Perfect. Well, we've got vice-captain James Ward-Prowse in there now, so I'm happy about that. Right. I'll continue on, and I'll try and remember to actually sign a central defender and a winger, because I keep forgetting that, apparently. See whether I can bring anyone in. Central defender is sorted. We've signed this guy, Charlie Cresswell. Never heard of him, I've got to be honest with you. But Initial University, 25 years old. He's got a couple of caps for England, and he's been a regular for Leeds United. 149 appearances with a couple of goals in there as well. He'll do. He'll definitely do. He's an England international. He's trained in England. I think he'll be absolutely superb for us. I think he'll do a really good job in the middle of our defence. In terms of the winger position we're looking for, I did go back in for Hesiak, and I was basically told not a chance. So we've gone in for Sergio Albistegui, Spanish under 21 international though, and he's had 5 appearances. Man City, scored a goal. He's got to think about him because of that, and he's playing quite well at the moment after the Olympic Games. So we have got a loan offer in for him. It would cost a bit more money than I'd like it to, but hopefully we can get him on board and we can have him as a backup, basically. I did put a cheeky offer in for Jack Grealish, but he wanted like £200,000 to sit on the bench, which I just thought it's not going to happen, let's be completely honest with you. Once that transfer's done, fingers crossed it will be, I think that's the squad done. I'm pretty happy with what we've built. And, you know, James Ward-Prowse is there as well. I'm still not entirely sure that I should have gone for that one, if I'm honest, but gone for it we have. He is going to be more of a bench warmer, but having him back as the vice-captain, I think, is a really good move. For morale, both for the fans and for the players as well, I'd like to think. So we'll move on. The next time you should see me, regardless of whether we bring in Albistegui, is going to be the first game of the season, unless anything dramatic happens, which at this point it really shouldn't be. And we have our man, Sergio Albistegui is in. He's here on loan from Manchester City for the season. I think we do have some form of way to sign him if we want to, I think. Or that might have been someone else we were looking at we didn't go with. I think it's that one, actually. I don't think we ended up doing that, but I don't mind too much. Oh, no, it is there. Optional future fee. I was looking at this one down here. I was thinking, where did all these bonuses come from? Optional future fee, 34 million. Probably not going to take them upon that, but who knows? He might end up being a little superstar for us. He's great on the ball. First touch is not all that cop, but he's great on the ball. Good pass for the ball as well. He can do a playmaking job well. Playing either wing. Could even be an emergency forward for us. Not that we need it. We do have 3 strikers at the moment, which leaves the squad looking like this. And bearing in mind, there's a couple of things we have to consider. Number one, Veloso is currently out on international duty with the Olympics, as is Albistegui. So we are having to play Lewis Murray in the central attacking midfield role. But I'm quite happy with this squad. I mean, it's about 20... What are we looking at? It's a 20. Is it a 23-man squad, 24-man squad, something like that? 24 players that I'm comfortable with. If we could bring in another lone player or two just for emergency cover near the end of the transfer window, I wouldn't be too against it. But I'm pretty content. Just to let you know as well, Pinamonti had a very good pre-season, 7 goals in 5 games. But James Price, 11 goals in 5 appearances, only 4 of them starts. I am excited to use this lad, which is why, of course, he's on the bench. But that is the squad. I think I'm pretty happy with it, if I'm being honest with you. But, of course, we're not going to know what's going to happen until we actually start the season. If we look at the season preview, we are predicted to finish 9th. I doubt that very much with the way that we finished, well, the way that we played last season. Then again, we know for a fact that we definitely overachieved that season. On the key player list, do we have anyone? Let's have a quick look. We've got Lavia, we've got Veloso, and they're the only ones, actually. I'm a bit surprised at that. I would have thought there might be one or two. I'm certainly surprised Pinamonti's not available there. Kronberg from Arsenal is on here instead of Pinamonti. Fine game. Have it your way. But at the very least, we're not in the bottom half on this. But I think we're going to be shooting further up this as time goes on. If we check in on Tranmere and just see how they're predicted to finish in the Championship, I am curious on this. Oh my. They are expected to tumble down the leagues, and that is saddening. I don't think they've got a single player. Oh, they've got a couple. Amari Benjamin and Sorba Thomas. They're the only players who are there on the key players list. Oh dear. Let's check in on Dartford as well. We haven't checked in on Dartford for a little while. We played them in a pre-season friendly. I don't think they finished very strongly last season. They haven't played yet this year. So let's have a quick nose and double check. So they finished last season in 16th. A lower mid-table for them. The drag down to the lower leagues has begun for them. Hopefully they don't go all the way. But, no. Took them as far as we could. Same with Tranmere. We took them absolutely as far as we could. And I'm proud of the work we did with both clubs. But none of that matters. What matters is we're going to try and get that 9th place back up to here. Remember, we finished 2nd last season. I don't think we'll finish 2nd this season. I'm looking for a Europa League to Champions League finish. Then I'd be content. Then again, with the money that we've spent, and we have spent this summer, wasn't intending to spend quite as much as we have, but we've spent 250 million. I wasn't expecting to spend as much as I have on installments. But bearing in mind as well, that doesn't even include these two here, so it's actually more like 256 million. But we have made 119 million. But the point is, we've spent a lot. We probably need some form of investment back in, and I do think, looking at the squad, I think we might have enough to stay in the Champions League places next year. I think we'll live and die on certain performances. It'll be interesting to see how we do without Richarlison, who was a big source of assists for us last season. But I think if Tino stays, Carl Jimenez kicks on as well, Luke Thomas plays well, Charlie Cresswell settles in okay, Hoyen Hall develops into the goalkeeper that he absolutely was at the Euros, Pinamonti has another good season supported by the phenomenon that is James Price, we could be okay. But you're going to have to wait until the next episode to find out. So, until then, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, do not forget to leave a like on the video for me and subscribe so you don't miss any of the Football Manager content coming from the channel. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I will see you in the next video. Cheers.